We're very excited to have everyone. Thank you for joining us. And again, the theme, we cannot forget the theme, building resilience through self-reliance. I want you to drop your hashtags in the chat, hashtag resilience, hashtag self-reliance. Again, we're very happy to have you. And we could not have thought of a better speaker to start the day out with. We want to welcome this gentleman who I have had the privilege of hearing speak right here in Jamaica. Many people consider Alex Ihama as one of the most dynamic and engaging speakers in the world today. He is regularly sought after by executives, pastors, and politicians whose desire goes beyond the transformation of their people and organizations to that of their nations. An executive coach, professional speaker, best-selling author, astute businessman and global strategist who has enabled many organizations to save and make millions of dollars. He has taken his revolutionary messages on leadership, business, religion, politics, and national transformation agenda across many continents. And he regularly speaks at high-level, high-profile conferences around the world, from Canada to Cuba to UK to the USA. He's a master coach to over 100 other coaches worldwide, and is also the president CEO of the School of Greatness, the International School of Greatness based in Toronto, Canada. It is a pleasure, it is a privilege, it is an honor to welcome to our virtual stage CCCU convention, Alex Ihama. Please welcome him.
It's a great honor to be here. Such a magnificent event. I was supposed to be at the same event last year, but life, the corona, of course, changed the whole plans for that. So to be here this morning from Toronto, Canada, speaking to a fine group of leaders in, I understand, 16 Caribbean nations. Only through technology can you be in 16 nations at the same time. So this is a great opportunity and certainly a great honor for me. I've visited many of the countries in the Caribbean, either as a tourist or a professional speaker, helping organizations to do leadership work or strategy work. So yesterday, when I was in the opening, I listened to, I think, Aaron Moses, yes, the chair of the organization, and of course to Joseph Remy. And they were talking about how the corona, of course, has changed everything that we do, how we work and how we play. The recorded message from the Prime Minister of Barbados as well was filled with encouragement and inspiration. And of course, I believe she left a challenge for the credit union organization and to seize on the opportunities that has been presented by the coronavirus. So while standing on our protocols that's been established, I would like to first express my deepest appreciation to the organizers of this event. Such an historic event. And please, I know you're all muted or we can't hear each other per se, but when I say let's clap for the organizers, I mean, yes, clap for the organizers. Put those hands together for the organizers of the event. Absolutely. And put some, I think I should be able to see some of the comment. Clap for them. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Oh, Christine Buckner. Yes. Okay. I know some people out there in the crowd, so that's good. Nice to see you all. Absolutely. Let's appreciate them. This is really fantastic. I must mention this, Diane Gaskin and Dennis Garfield. Two of you have just been amazing since last year, working with my office to make this happen. Now, the theme of the conference is building resilience through self-reliance. Oh my God. Building resilience through self-reliance. Now, let's face it. The pandemic has taught us many things. The pandemic has taught us many things about ourselves and humanity as a whole. The pandemic has taught us, if nothing else, the amount of resilience we have as a human being, besides the remarkable innovative capabilities people have demonstrated to work around the restrictions of the pandemic. New businesses have been born and other businesses have expanded. Ours has, and I really hope yours yours have expanded as well, because when we have challenges like this, it only presents opportunity. But chief among the learning outcome of the pandemic is the extraordinary reservoir of tenacity and resilience within us. I call it's an extraordinary reservoir. It never ends. While the virus has unfortunately claimed the lives of almost 2 million people worldwide, destroyed the lives of even more millions of people and businesses, those of us who God has spared, if you are honest with yourself today, those of us who God has spared, we have grown stronger. Can somebody just put on the comment, we have come stronger. We have become stronger. Absolutely, we have. Therefore, one of the greatest oversight of humanity is to underestimate the ability of tough times to strengthen our resolve to overcome obstacle. Yes, when you were choosing your theme, I don't know if you thought about it, but as a leader, what sets leaders from every other person, what makes you an exceptional leader, what sets you apart, what gives you, that resolve to make a difference is resilience. Absolutely. What leadership message would you hear that and the philosophies are not based on resilience? As a leader, you are literally at the front of the war, right? Not just the virus. You are the front of the war in your workplace, in your home, in your community. Yes, as a leader, you are meant to be shot at. If some of you are surprised because of how people talk, even bad about you, or disrespect you or whatever, then you haven't understand the concept of leadership. The concept of leadership, my friend, it demands that you are on the hot seat. Am I talking to somebody? If I am, just put yes, I'm talking to somebody. Let's make sure that you can hear me well. Absolutely. The concept, the very essence of leadership means you have agreed to be on the hot seat. So if obstacles are meant to strengthen our resolve, it is we therefore underestimate the ability of tough time to create the capacity to conquer innermost struggle. Leadership is not just about the outside, my friends. Leadership is also, in fact, begins from the inside. Nothing can challenge your thought process to rise above your current bar of excellence than tough times. Therefore, the question is not whether we are resilient or not. The question rather is how much of the resilience within us are we tapping into? How much of the resilience within us are we tapping into? Therefore, we must begin to ask ourselves and say, in such a time as this, how much of the reservoir of resilience within us are we tapping into? Because let's face it, there are people around you that don't even understand the concept of resilience. There are people around you that are struggling way more than you are. There are people around you that are looking up to you for hope. People looking up to you for inspiration, for direction. So, my friend, as somebody, I mind your leadership. When I say leader, I'm not talking about those in positions of authority. Leadership, in my book, I define it as a spirit that can only be ignited by purpose, sustained by passion, and guided by principle, which means the moment you discover your purpose in life, if I'm talking to somebody, you become a leader. Rosa Parks had no position, was just a little slave girl on the bus, decided to not go back to the back of the bus, which she had done many times. And at that point, she became a leader. So you can be in your credit union in Barbados, in Jamaica, wherever you are, and may not have the position of a director or general manager. You may consider yourself, I'm just a customer service rep. You are a leader in that sphere as soon as you have discovered your purpose in life. So, a coronavirus may have exposed the inadequacies of people and organizations, which it did, in fact, expose the inadequacies of government. We're still in a lockdown in Ontario. Canada, advanced nation, the last 1 month, you can't buy socks, not even underwear. Right? You can't buy any of those things. They shut everything now. You can only buy banana and peanuts and food, right? So, but the corona only exposed that. It may have even struck some people hard. And my heart goes out to those who may have lost loved ones to the virus. And certainly, like I went to 10, 12, 11 funerals last year. I've been to 2 this year already. So, I certainly understand the pain of losing a loved one. But the virus may have created a perception, maybe for you or some other people, that things are bad and people and organizations cannot recover from the unprecedented socio-economic devastation that we've experienced. But delegates of CCCU 21, I'm speaking to you. If you hear me say anything today at all, let it be that we are built to last. Absolutely built to last. If I'm talking to somebody, just put it on the chat. Say yes, built to last. If I say CCCU, you say built to last. Absolutely. And I'm not just talking of you. I'm talking of your organization as a credit union. I'm talking of your home. I'm talking of the association of the organization itself. I'm talking of the organization of the organization. We are built to last. So when I say CCCU, you say built to last. CCCU, built to last. I wish I can hear somebody, but go ahead and put it on the chat. Let me make sure that you are listening to me. Now, put your hands together for yourselves. You have made it. You are here today. You are alive. You are well. You can connect, and you are here today. That it's worth appreciating yourself for. Absolutely. Never let any day pass without you looking in the mirror and say, I thank God for me. Absolutely. Thank God for your spouse, your kids, but thank God for you, my friend. Absolutely, we're built to last. Now, considering that this is your 63rd, I understand, 63rd annual convention, what else can I tell you about being built to last, right? To put it into perspective, when you had your first annual convention 63 years ago, my parents didn't even know each other, which means I wasn't even born, right? So they didn't even know each other at all. So, and you're still here. The organization is still here. Some of your credit union older than even 63 years, they are still here. If the scripture says that God can give you what you can't bear, it simply means that you have the tenacity and the resilience to conquer whatever you are faced with. As a person, as an organization, absolutely. Indeed, we are more than conquerors. CCCU, say built to last. Absolutely. Am I listening? Am I hearing somebody? Built to last. Come on, capitalize it. Don't even put small letter in it. Built to last. Indeed, we are more than conqueror. Now, my dear friends, now that I have got that out of the way, I just wanted to ensure that, we all agree that no matter what come what may, we can build the resilience through self-reliance. We can build the resilience through self-reliance. Let us now shift to the concept of leadership. Let us now shift gradually to the concept of leadership. Now, my definition, which I gave to you just a little while ago, my definition of leadership is a spirit that can only be ignited by purpose, sustained by passion, and guided by principle. Leadership is a spirit that can only be ignited by purpose, sustained by passion, and guided by principles. Absolutely. That is the whole essence of leadership. What I'm going to be sharing with you today really are those critical aspects, if you will, of leadership that you need, especially for such a time as this. The leadership principles that you need, especially for such a time as this. Right. So now, I mean, the title says, leadership strategy or psychology for uncertain times. Allow me to challenge your perception of what uncertain times is. Allow me to challenge your perception of what uncertain time is. When people, see what's going on, we are quick to say these are uncertain times. But, I suggest to you that the word uncertain is relative. The word uncertain has got to even do with your mindset. What makes today uncertain? Maybe we can put some comments if you can. Why don't you put some comment online and let's see what you think makes these times uncertain. What profit is down? There's the virus. I'm looking at comment. I want to see more comment. I want to see more interaction. I want to hear people express their thought. Why would you consider this time as uncertain? There are some. I've asked this question to many people, and I've received different responses from people, by the way. So, and I want to know what my friends here in the credit union say makes the time uncertain. Uncertain is, okay, profits are down. Uncertain is we are not sure if we are going to find a cure for the coronavirus, although they have some vaccine now. I hope some people are for it, some are against it. But what makes the time uncertain for you? Why would you consider this time as uncertain? It's very important that we land on kind of we may not all agree on this philosophy, but at least we land on a certain level of understanding of what uncertain means. What does it mean to be uncertain times? So some will say, job security. Okay, that's good. Loss of jobs. Oh my God. The economy, not knowing how long the pandemic will last. I love this. By the way, thank you so much for all those that are putting comments. Yes, job security. Oh, wow. See how many times this job security thing is coming out, eh? Job security, the economy. We don't know how long this is going to last. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, okay. Keep putting those comments there. Yes. Okay, I'm seeing them. Thank you so much. Disasters are occurring more than before. Change is inevitable. Yes, I appreciate all this comment. Yes, very, very critical. And you can all read what you and your peers are putting out. You can read what you and your peers are putting out, talking about what makes this time uncertain. It's like, I said it in the beginning, we certainly sympathize with those who lost people during this pandemic, those who lost family members during the pandemic. We sympathize with them all. But let me challenge your thought process for a moment, if you allow me. Please allow me to challenge your thought process for a moment, because that is really what leadership is about. The terminology uncertain, using it to describe a time as such as this, is not different from 100 years ago. It's not even different from 500 years ago. Some of us may be experiencing a pandemic of this magnitude for the first time, but there have been many pandemics in history, including the Spanish flu, which claimed, according to numbers, over 500 million people, way more than the pandemic. The economies of nations have been wiped out before. So, and natural disasters has been occurring even before, over 1,000 years, 2,000 years ago. So what is really different from the past and the present? Now, mind you, that we have, one of the greatest or the wisest men, wisest person to have ever lived once said, there is nothing new under the sun. My friends, allow me, in addition to helping you to understand that we are built to last. Leaders, for sure, built to last. Your body, your mind is like there's a bulletproof on it. I would like to suggest to you that no times are uncertain, none, but rather is how we see things. In the words of Wayne Dyer, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. I don't look at these times out of certain times. I look at them as actually exciting times. There are people making 200, 300, 1,000% profit in such a time as this. And it's got nothing to do with they are in the technology business. I'm not in the technology business. And, I also say our profit, grew over 100%, if you will. In times like this, right? So it is how we look at things that limit us. And as leaders, if anybody's mind was to ever be open, if there was anybody's mind that needs to be open, that is the mind of a leader. A leader doesn't look at things the way people look at it. A leader looks at things the way things should be looked at, not necessarily how people look at it. So when we say uncertain times, we are literally, my friend, we are limiting the capability of the power. In fact, we are shifting power is what we're doing. So my points are already in there. I know some of you are waiting for PowerPoints. I told the officer just now, I do PowerPoints, but towards the end, more so to emphasize than to teach. I love interaction. I love us to discuss. Another thing, that leaders do well, in addition to always recognizing their capacity for resilience, is to consider as massive opportunities what other people consider as uncertain times. I put the charge to you this morning, my friends, that from this moment onwards, when people see uncertain, allow those creative capabilities within your imaginative faculty, allow them to rise up and to find solutions that people never thought about. Because when people think times are uncertain, what it does is it limits their creative capability and they are unable to do it. Look at the Elon Musk of today and the Mark Zuckerberg of today. Like, these guys are saying they want to build a shopping mall in Mars. A shopping mall in Mars. Like, these guys are going crazy, spending billions of dollars, and yet their stock price is not dropping. Some of us, some of you with your credit, you could make one initiative and your stock price would drop. But these guys are spending billions and the stock price keep rising. Why? Because people have leadership. Listen, the essence of leadership is not to have followers. If you are seeking followers, then you are a follower in disguise. Let me just be clear. If you're seeking followers, you're a follower in disguise. And if you think holding a position of authority is what makes you a leader, you may never become one. If you also think not holding a position of authority does not make you a leader, you may never become one too. Now, that's philosophical, so you may have to think about it. Now, I am about to walk you through a short presentation, as I say, and most of the points I have already given here to you, which is the fact that leadership, the essence of leadership is by the discovery of your purpose. The question is never whether we are resilient or not, is how much of the resilience we're tapping into. So at this point, I'm going to show everyone. Yes, I'm going to show my slide. I hope you're all still hearing me. So if I say, CCCU, come on, built to last. Scream where you are. Let people know. Let people hear you. CCCU, come on. Built to last. Write it out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Built to last. Leave here. Go back to your workplaces and tell them you were built to last. Your organization was built to last. None of those will change at all. None of those will change at all. Terry, thank you so much. I can hear you screaming, Terry, carry out. Built to last. Built to last. Absolutely. You understand that philosophy way too well. Okay, so let me share you Judy Banks. Yes, let me give a shout out to all these fine people. I love this technology. Eh? You go from Zoom to WebEx to Hoppings. Now we're all hopping, right? Hopping. Absolutely. Shout out to you all. Yes, Trevor Gill, built to last. My God, I wish I could hear you guys. That's why I love my physical events. Guys are built to the last. Come on. People say, Alex, are you always fired up like this? Yes. Of course, the only time I won't be fired up is when I'm in the grave, period. Even then, I'll be jumping in the grave. Absolutely. Leadership, when you discover, listen to me, when you discover the exact purpose with which you were created, you will never be bored, never be boring. You will never be not passionate. You will never be complacent. You will never be, I'm telling you that there is no 10 keys to exceptional leadership. There's one and one only, and that is purpose. Purpose. Can somebody just say purpose? CCCU, built to last. Let me put up this slide here and let me work for those who love visual. Let me challenge your thought process even more. Just a second here as I wrote this. Absolutely. CCC, you built a lot. You're fine people. You're fine people. People come to me, help me with this, help me with this. I say, you don't have any problem. The only problem you have is for you to see things differently than you've always done. That's it. Again, I'll leave you with the quotation from Wayne Dyers. When you change, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at themselves will change. They will change. All right. So here we go. So leadership, we're talking the mystique of leadership. I hope you can see my slide, please. If you can, just put on in the chat. Yes, David Down says purpose. Absolutely critical, critical. By the way, I asked my assistant to send you a workbook. Some of you may have received it on your email. So it was sent out this morning. The workbook for the program. For this, because I'm going to leave you with a framework that's going to completely change your orientation after this event. I believe that the learning, this is the inspiration and the motivation, but the learning is what happens when you leave here. If you leave here and you do nothing about what we've said, I guarantee you, if you do nothing about what we say here today, nothing's going to change in your life, nothing's going to change in your business. But if you leave here today with notes, some of you should have taken, I'm on my 0.75. Like literally, if you were taking notes, you'd probably be at 0.75. Yes, they can see my slide. This is good. This is good. Okay, so let me walk you through the mystique of leadership, innovative strategies to thrive through uncertain times. Like, so that word uncertain, why don't you change it to innovative strategies to thrive at times that people consider uncertain. People, I hope you are no longer in the category of considering this time as uncertain, but you are in the category of considering this time as the time of massive opportunities, but other people consider this uncertain. Your role as a leader, my friend, is to go back into your workplace, to go back into your homes, into your churches, to go back into your communities and help people to understand that these are great times. These are times we should be thinking beyond. We should raise the bar of excellence. These are times we should become innovative. We should come up with creative ideas. Look at this Hopkins. I was telling my staff this morning. I said Hopkins is I mean Zoom. If Zoom is not careful, Hopkins will wipe them out. In fact, Hopkins will buy them. I don't even know if they bought each other, but you know what I'm saying. Hopkins have taken the bar of a virtual conference to the next level. My question to you is, what are you taking to the next level? What are you taking to the next level as a leader? What are you taking to the next level? By the way, in the email you got, for those who want to go through the online program for this, you have a discount code, which is CCCU 2021, and you can get that at schoolofgreatness.ca, CCCU 2021. So it's a series of videos and quizzes to work you through what leadership is. And they are all based on taking from my books, as you can see on the screen, Mystique of Leadership, Welcome to Greatness, The Psychology of Sales and Marketing. Now, let me prefix my few slides. I think I have about 5 or so, 6 slides. But let me prefix it by saying that with almost 2 million people dead, your staff, your family, your community, your congregation, there are bound people under you, before you, around you, who are experiencing massive loss right now. Let's be conscious of the fact that even when we want to conquer the world, there are people who feel conquered. Leadership is not about going to conquer the world. It's about empowering those who feel conquered, to empower those who feel these are uncertain times. We're not ridiculing anybody. Anybody that says these are uncertain times, we don't ridicule them. We encourage them and we support them. With trillions of dollars lost to the pandemic, many staff are being impacted by cost-cutting measures. Is that not interesting when I said, why at these times uncertain, people are putting loss of jobs? Loss of jobs has caused people to become billionaires. Steve Jobs and all these guys will tell you, in fact, Jeff Ma, is it Jeff Ma? Yeah, or Jack Ma, yeah, the billionaire from China. He said that he applied for Kentucky Fried Chicken 20 times or something. He never got the job. But the job he got fired. And today he's worth billions. So being afraid of the loss of job is limiting your capability as human. With almost 2 years of social distancing, your staff, your congregation, your employees, your bosses have emotional and mental health issues. Leadership is about being conscious of what pain people are going through that they may not have told you. That, my friend, is leadership. I'm not talking leadership 101. I'm talking leadership 501. That's what I'm talking about. Where they don't tell you the issue, but you know the issue. You perceive the issue and you solve the issue. We don't wait to be told. Leaders don't wait to be told or to be asked. They just do, right? So with the drastic societal change, my friend, and corporate changes you've had to make, your staff are struggling right now with change management, emotional instability, mental health issue, as we said, and of course, with the heightened level of challenges, the people around you, if you're strong, good, but the people around you need you. Listen, I wrote in Welcome to Greatness, we can all be heroes. In fact, we are all heroes. We just have to start behaving as one, without aiming to be one. We don't go out and say, I want to be a hero. But you're just a hero by how you think. You're just a hero by how you talk. You're just a hero by how you encourage, how you inspire, how you motivate, how you influence. That is what, as a leader, my friend, I don't know is no longer acceptable. We don't go around saying, I don't know. It may be misconstrued for I don't care. We have to have a sense of empathy towards the people that we lead. Leadership, as I said, again, leadership. Can somebody type this out? Let's see how fast you are. Leadership is a spirit that can only be ignited by purpose, sustained by passion, and guided by principle. Come on, type it out. Let's see who's going to do that. Who's going to do that so well? Absolutely. I'm watching. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Paulette Hector. God bless you. That Paulette Hector, you deserve a free gift. If you can find my email me and I'll give you access to a program completely for free. Whoever that Paulette Hector is. I just love the way she capitalized everything. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to leave you quickly with five keys. I'm going to zoom through this so that we can have some form of interaction, I believe. Now, with all being said, leave here today and promise yourself to be entirely inspirational. Your presence should bring a sense of soothing to the people around you. They should no longer be scared. They should no longer wonder what you're thinking. They just appreciate your presence. The definitiveness of purpose is the birth of inspiration. If you don't know what your purpose is, there's a free course on schoolofgreatness.ca. It's called a course on greatness. It's free completely. You click, you register, you have access to the program, 21 modules to discover your purpose. But until you know exactly why you're on earth, my friend, the masses will not be moved by your existence. So you can get to your workplace, zero influence. Why? Because you don't even know why you're here. So again, be entirely inspirational. Number two, compelling intelligence. I just told you, I don't know is no longer a response. I don't know is no longer an answer. Like I don't know. What does he know? You should be ahead of the curve in learning. You should know what is going on in Japan, what is going on in Australia. You should know with technology now. You should know. What you know, my friend, is useless unless it's applicable, valuable, and effective. Nothing gives meaning to information more than timeliness and applicability. My God. You should be reading books like crazy. In fact, you should be publishing books. If you've always wanted to write a book and you haven't written one during this corona, when are you going to write it? When are you going to write it? Right? That's the point here, right? I'm going to zoom through this. Like I said, I've given you my message already. Number three, innovation. Constantly. You should be innovating every day. I'm not saying innovate the cell phone. Innovate a process. Innovate a policy. Innovate a way of being. Innovate in your dressing. Be innovative. Think, and think again. Before you do anything, before you click send on that email, what? Think, and think again. Before you even accept that meeting invitation, think, and think again. Why do you have to be in that meeting? Just because you are a boss or you carry a title? I don't accept every meeting. I don't answer every call. That's innovation, my friend. We're not talking event the cell phone. If unable to identify an uncommon way to achieve an objective, you have not thought deeply enough. The depth of your thought is the height of your imagination. The depth of your thought, the depth. So if the deeper you can think, the higher you can go. Am I talking to somebody? CCCU, come on, tell me, say, built to last. You should scream it so much, the people in the office, they run down and say, what's going on? Built to last. Number four, consistently inclusive. This is no time to have an exclusive club. This is the Lions Club and the Tigers Club and the Horses Club. No, 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 no. Inclusion is not an option in leadership. It is not an option, but a critical aspect of it. To lead your purpose and a vision requires the humility to engage others. I wish I had more time to unpack this. But I'll tell you a quick story. I told an organization, in fact, one of the things was, I've used this in many organizations, but the one in my mind now is in Jamaica. I said, get your 200 employees to write one way your organization can do better, in customer service, and they should point it to customer service, profit, sales and marketing, finance, point it to a particular area. So that was 200 ideas. That company made millions of dollars, so to speak, just from the ideas of the people. You got to include the people. This is not time for, just 5 of us at the top. You should have people you consider to be at the bottom, because sometimes those at the bottom, their mind are sharper than those at the top. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then lastly, my last point for the day is influential. It's John Maxwell who said it best when he said leadership is influence. That's it. Right. So my call to you is to become naturally influential. Yes, I have a program for that. In fact, the leadership course, you can get this on that. Absolutely. Your presence and your name should be opening doors for people. Right? The people will be like, I like, yeah, okay, like your presence. The method of you should get people excited. Yes, I'm not saying being being a follower, kissing butt or whatever. I'm talking about, you have become so encouraging, so inspirational, so innovative in your mindset that people just want to be around you. To lead, my friend, as I wrote in The Mystic of Leadership, to lead is to influence, and to influence is to leverage your definitiveness of purpose to consistently generate the depth of passion. Now you see this passion? He moves mountain. There's nothing. You shoot me, the bullet will drop. He can't come close. Seriously. That is what I mean. We're talking of the kind of leadership Mahatma Gandhi is known for, Martin Luther King is known for, Marcus Garvey is known for, the kind of leadership Nelson Mandela is known for. You don't go to school and learn that. You just embody the principles. And sooner or later, you become naturally influential. So my last note to you, Melanie Campbell, adversity introduced the man to himself. I love you too, Melanie. You look beautiful too, right? So here, my last note says, considering the significant deaths and socioeconomic impacts of the coronavirus, the unprecedented impact of the mental health and financial state, and of course, the overall well-being of people, any attempt to lead in the same way as before the pandemic, if you are still leading the same way before the pandemic, it is detrimental to your health, detrimental to the people around you, and detrimental to your organization. I must add, the leadership philosophy and psychology that is required post-COVID, therefore, goes beyond dictating. We no longer dictate to people. We no longer direct people. We no longer delegate. That is old form of leadership. Paul, do this. Andrew, do that. Are you kidding me? Now we ask Paul, what should you be doing for this organization to get to the next level? Challenge your employees like that. Forget about that job description and job whatever. Ask them, listen, I'm giving you 3 months. We're about to reduce staff. We're about to reduce staff. Some people will have to let go because of the socioeconomic impact. So we are giving people and say, within the next 3 months, let's see how productive you are. That's it. You don't need to even watch out for whether they are doing anything or not. They will begin to tap into their creative capability. So it requires you to become entirely inspirational, constantly innovative, and a compelling intelligence. If you wish to increase your level of influence in 2021 and beyond, my friend, you must learn to foster inclusive leadership. I won't read this. This is just a snapshot of the email you would have received. If you did not get that email, you can go to my, I think we have a booth on the networking or in on this technology. I have two of my people there watching, or you can send me an email directly, alex@alexihama.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on social media, on anything. I'm there. I'm on everything. All right. So this is it for me. So I can take a couple of questions, and if I still have time, then I will round up. But I can just tell you, though, that these are exciting times. I'm excited. CCCU, come on. Come on. I want to see that. CCCU. Alex, you say built to last. Come on. Who's the first to put that? Built to last. Let me see that. Who's the first? Joseph probably says great thoughts, inclusion. Absolutely. Great thought, inclusion. Built to last. Thank you so much.
Oh, everybody. My goodness. Alex Ihama, my word. To the members, to the attendees, to the delegates, those of you watching, CCCU, if that was a word, drop word in the chat. If he was preaching, drop it in the chat. If he was inspirational, drop it in the chat. But most importantly, did he move you to act? Type act. Alex Ihama, it is always a pleasure listening to you, and I know that you can unpack so much more. I've seen your energy. People are talking about your energy online, and if only they were in the room with you. But we're certainly happy to have you here. You know what you said? You spoke about inclusion. The fact that we, as a leader, we cannot know everything. We cannot be everywhere. And just like everyone, we are always trying to improve on our skill sets. Why do you think it is so difficult for leaders, especially within some cultures and some territories, to ask, to seek knowledge, to go out and bring people in to help make the goal even better or the execution even better?
Thank you so much. Always nice to see you. I have to say that again, my dear friend. Yes, yeah. So the reason we have found over the years is a lot of people don't know who they are. Like, what has saved me, my friend, I'm telling you, safe, I'm even getting the chills. I mean, literally saved, I almost died, was I learned to ask. That's it. I asked people, like I said, you know, years ago, I don't know how to manage money. We're always broke. And I said, read this book, bro. You know, go to this. There was no social media or any of those things then. Like, so, you know, and then I asked and say, oh, I'm having this issue in my marriage. They said, well, here's something here. I'm like, wow. When the Bible says ask and you shall receive, he wasn't lying. So I became very comfortable to ask you. If you think less of me because I ask you, you think less of yourself. That's my philosophy. That's my philosophy. Believe me, Terry, if I need your help, I will find you and I will ask you. Period.
You're removing ego. It's not about ego. It's not about insecurity. It is actually finding the right person at the right time who can help drive an objective or drive a goal.
I found somebody who was going to help my business get to the next level 7 years ago. He was in Bahamas, Dr. Miles Moreau. I did not know him. He did not know me. I bought a package. It was $4,800 to go to the Bahamas, and I stayed in one of the best hotels, which I never saw the beach, and I was the first to arrive in his church. And I had 21 of his books. And I said, listen, I've read 21 of your books. I love how you think. I want to speak to nations like you. And it took me to his house 5 days. He mentored me. And he became a friend. If I feel Obama has a role to play in my life, are you kidding me? It's Obama that will get tired. In fact, Obama will say, that man that is trying to reach me, bring him. I will not tire. I will not falter. And I will not fear. I'm not saying this for me. I'm saying this to somebody right here. What you need is in the mind of somebody. And you need to seek that person out. And I'm telling you, you can go to Harvard and spend 10 years. It won't give you what a wisdom from one little slave girl, like in the days of Elijah, or one little young man. I ask my kids, I ask everybody. So anyway, that's it. You said it best. Once you reduce your ego, your humility goes up. When your humility goes up, in fact, let me quote somebody. The very essence of picking up a book is an act of humility. Is you telling yourself, there's something I still don't know.
And therefore, you're open to learn and to embrace. Thank you so very much. Kevin Lashley says, Alex, in general terms, what were you able to do to Honeybun or with Honeybun to increase success?
Okay, somebody there knows the story. So what we're able to do, I could bring it down into three things. Number one was to look at leadership, right? All the things I'm saying, they went through it. Like from the CEO to everybody, they went through a 3 months intensive. Every week I was on a Zoom. Every week I was on a Zoom. By the time we were done, we literally gave them a brand new mind. Then we now went on to the sales folks. They had about 200 salespeople. Then we asked the salespeople, when I was there live, I said, come to the stage and come and tell us. No salesperson had the confidence to come to the stage to speak to their own people. So we knew we needed to increase their confidence. So literally, we poured gasoline on them, set them on fire, and like seriously, I told them, I said, even if you are driving past your customer and it's on Sunday, but you are going to church, stop by and say, hey, Terry, how are you? On Monday, I will bring the cookies to you. Like, build relationship. Forget about sales. Sales will take care of itself. And the last thing we did was to look at the processes. We reduced their waste by almost 70%. Literally, every organization have waste. Every organization have waste. Waste could just be, I'll give you a very good example. Here is where they do the mix. Here is where the sugar is. If you have to take the sugar from there to here, it's 4 minutes. On that way, you are going to say, hey, Terry, how are you? Hey, Kevin, how are you? Now, 4 minutes becomes 10 minutes. But if you move the place the sugar is to where that machine is, Terry won't have the time to chit-chat. It goes in. So instead of 100 cookies, now you are making 700 cookies. It's called process engineering. We have been able to help organizations with over $1 billion US. You'll be amazed because it's the same thing. We have to move from here, Terry, right now. And every time we have to move, there are so many things we throw away. But if we didn't have to move, we didn't have to throw things away. So that means you gather waste every single day. And in the same way, businesses have gathered so much waste, they can't even see the future.
No, absolutely. I know that we're running out of time, but I'm going to ask you this question because often we see leaders are readers. You even spoke about it in terms of picking up a book, reading. So, for example, I think last year I read over 45 books, and it's very intentional, strategic reading. However, in social media, when you speak to a lot of persons and even some leaders, persons who hold very high positions, they will tell you they have no time to read. Everything has to be digestible. Videos have to be a minute. They want to read pamphlets. No one wants to read captions longer than 2 sentences. It is a bother and a bore to read. How do we culturally inject people with the importance of learning, opening, and understanding that there's so much more out there that we do not know?
Terry, there's a reason why you only find a few people at the top. If everybody was at the top, like as Les Brown would say, aim for the top because it's crowded at the bottom. Those people who say, I don't have time to read, they are those ones who pay people like me thousands of dollars to coach them. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't, even my kids, I have 2 kids right here. One don't like to read, the other one like to read. If we say one should read, the other one goes there and make a joke, and next thing he runs off. And I say, but why he wants to read? Let him read. If you want to play, go out and play. But the essence, and I tell my wife, I say, listen, this young man, like I'm seeing, it's just a habit. I love to read, the mom loves to read, but you don't. So it's a habit that people build. And over time, if they don't recognize that habit, they are either going to need a coach or they are going to remain at the bottom. That's the period. My hand is up. I spend 4 hours to 6 sometimes intentional reading every day.
Correct.
Every day, every single day. And it's, as you said, it's not just, oh, here's a newspaper, let me read. Oh, here's a post, let me read. I don't read posts. I don't read anything that is not going to add to my, I don't want in my head, right? So let me encourage those who are struggling with reading. Book it. That means you just say 5 to 6 or 5 to 5:30 a.m. Book it. The way you book meeting with your boss or your employee, book it. Once you book it, obey it. Obey your booking. I have clients right now that I'm teaching that, frankly. I'm serious. One of them paid $5,500 and all I do with her is I book her time on my email, but we don't even meet. So I get a reminder, she gets a reminder. So she goes and do what she wants to do, and I follow up later and say, did you do what we said you should do? That's it.
Correct.
they develop that capability. So please read. It will help you.
Absolutely. And I think it's also important and instructive to make appointments for yourself and with yourself. We make sure we make time and we schedule in everybody else, everything else. We are robust and efficient and productive when it comes to everyone else. And to schedule in a little reading time, we find it very difficult. I do not play. And sometimes I will even read multiple books at the same time, depending on where my intention lies. So thank you so very much for that. I'm going to ask one last question because I don't see any questions here. You spoke about confidence, and that is a big thing. Before we can speak about, being resilient and understanding that we are power and understanding the capacity that we have to have that self-belief and that confidence. And you yourself spoke one day in one of your presentations, and you said, a man told you to look in the mirror and ask you if you like what you saw.
Yes.
And you said you wanted to say yes. You wanted to say yes because you liked the man that you saw. But instead, at that moment, because you knew what the man wanted you to say, you went with it. Could you just quickly tell us about how important and how pivotal that role was?
Yeah. So one of the most unfortunate things in life, my friend, is that parents have used their own mouth to stunt the confidence of their kids. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart when the parents say, "Are you crazy? Get out! You are stupid!" Oh my God! Like when I hear that now, I just cringe because that was me as a child. Right? Look in the mirror. Do you like what you see? I wanted to say yes because the boys loved me. The girls even loved me. So what are you talking about? Guys were raving about me. But I had to say, no, I don't. That was where I lost my confidence. So years later, after God has saved me so many times, I almost died so many times. When I needed to start working on myself, I know I needed confidence. And I had to go back to areas, and I do this in my coaching. I take people back to 3 years old, 5 years old, 11 years old, literally where their confidence was stolen. And you can do this. Go back to where that confidence was stolen. Maybe you went through divorce, and the man, like one woman told me, the man will always say, "You're ugly and you're this and you're that." My God, like go back there, not to that person, but to that particular point in your mind, and then begin to build yourself up from that. Marcus Garvey said it best. Marcus Garvey, he says, "You are twice defeated in the race of life without confidence." The very first thing that builds confidence is knowing who you are. Like for me, if I open my Jesus, I have verses, virtual verses in my mind. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. His plan is to prosper me and not to fail me. Yeah, you are telling me I'm not good. You are telling me I don't look nice. You are telling me I'm nobody. But what I'm looking at here is telling me I'm everything. I'm everything. My friends, do this every morning. Everybody, if you don't need to, then you don't need to. But if you think you need to, spend every morning to appreciate yourself. It's good to pray. Yes, God appreciates the prayer, but also you need to develop yourself. Now, it's in your hand. Because if you don't have confidence, the moment you step out of your house, there are challenges waiting for you at your door, not in your office. The challenge, when you get to the office, you're screaming. The challenge was already following you from your door. Never leave home. That's why reading is important too, Terry. That's why reading. So read something that builds you up. Hang out with people that builds you up. Hang out with people and tune out those that steal. There are some vipers that just steal your confidence. Yes, dream killer. So absolutely great point to round up on. Confidence in leadership. A lot of leaders, they are scared to even tell employees what they think because they don't have that confidence. It is confidence you need to have an exceptional dialogue with your staff without feeling intimidated or feeling overloading on the person. So confidence is critical, very critical. And like I mentioned quickly, there's a free course you can take at schoolofgreatness.ca. It's called a course on greatness. It's 21 modules. It's free. We want 5 million people to go through that program by 2025. That will make it free, both in Africa and the Caribbean. Go through it. There's a module on confidence. Oh my God. It will just build it up.
Well, let me tell you something, Alex. You are the kind of person, I saw people saying, professional, powerful, profound presentation. You are the kind of person who we could easily sit and speak to and dialogue with and listen to all day. But unfortunately, our time has come upon us. But certainly one of the biggest takeaways is that leadership is not a position. It is not prosperity. It is not popularity, but it is a spirit ignited by purpose, sustained by passion, guided by principle. And what you have, drop mic, and what you have told us today is that it's not that we have power, but we are power. And if we do not look at things with the right perspective, we shift the power, we surrender it, we give it to something else. And so we are to acknowledge that we are power. We are to recognize our own capacity, our own reservoir for tenacity, and that we're to remember that we're building legacy. We're not building likes. Alex Ihama, professional speaker, global strategist, president, CEO of International School of Greatness, author, best-selling author, executive coach. You are everything and then some. Thank you so very much for spending your time with us. I'm sure we walked away with a lot of nuggets, and we will get you that 5 million people before the time that you had put down. So thank you so very much. If you guys say preach.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless you.
Take care. Oh my goodness. Talk about a way to start off. So we had the breakfast session with Katrina this morning, fill you up with the oatmeal to really get you going, get your blood pumping. And then Alex Ihama just came in and took it to a completely different level. My goodness, it can only get better from here.